Everybody, it's B-Fire. It is Monday morning. It is the day after the Super Bowl. I call it the Super Bowl hangover. San Francisco 49ers did not win. It's my team. I'm here in San Francisco running the Bikram Yoga North Beach studio. And so working with some of the players, teaching some yoga. Of course, it's unfortunate, but that's the nature of competition. And I am very happy for Kansas City because Andy Reid, the coach, and Patrick Mahomes' first time winning the Super Bowl. Congrats. I do love the art of sportsmanship. On to some yoga, here we go. So I do get a lot of questions from people all over the world, literally text, DM'd, emailed, etc. And I am going through them specifically, and I do deal with a lot with Bikram himself. So I talk to him about these issues. We come up with some sort of logical answers, and I just want to be able to post them. I do want you to be able to comment on them below because I think it's really important we keep the communication line open, good, bad, or otherwise. I am definitely interested in other people's opinions, why they do this and why do they do that. It's like, I mean, I have my own version, but I'm not the version, and I am very open to making sure that we, not only do I understand, that everybody else understands, and they just express themselves, so that is very clear. Now, I'm going to go through a set of questions here. I have 4. Someone has emailed me. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm going to definitely post this up here. I'm going to keep this up here for a few seconds while I'm talking. And the first one was about the 60-minute class. The second one was about Bikram Yoga teachers that aren't certified by Bikram Yoga himself. Do these uncertified teachers actually get vetted by studios around the world for their credibility? So let's go for the 60-minute class. So we've taken now the 90-minute class of Bikram, and we've converted to 60 minutes for many reasons. Number one, because I used to own a studio in Canada, 11 years, and I definitely had this coming to me all the time. So I get it. People come up to me and say, you know, like if I only had 60 minutes, and they pointing to the clock, and I get it. So they're all about the time frame. So instead of actually getting the benefits of what this 90-minute class does, they are willing to shorten it because their time. They want to do 1 hour exercise regardless what it's called, what you're doing, or what the benefits are. And that's okay for either a temporary version or because in the long term, the physical and hatha benefit, the physical and hatha yoga benefits, I'll say that slower and carefully, come from once you get into the floor series, once you get into the Savassanas, and it really does come, here's the most important part, from the science of Hatha Yoga, which is freezing still in the posture and breathing normal. So when you're constantly flowing, you're constantly moving, and maybe you are doing yoga postures, but there's no stoppage, then you're doing a yoga exercise and you're not getting actually Hatha Yoga physical benefits from that freezing still, breathing normal benefit. So there's a couple of things out of that. One, when you do freeze still, the actual spirit of the mind starts to slow down with the body. Instead of like constantly moving, you have to constantly be thinking. So that's a very calming effect. This is a very yoga effect by that stillness. And the second thing, mostly from the science of the lock, the tourniquet effect, temporarily shutting the supply of blood off. And then the release and the relax is where you really get the healing benefits. So I come from the background as my back was ruined. Motorcycle racing, and I had done everything you can imagine. And when I started to do yoga, amazing things happened. And now today, I'm currently pain-free. I think a lot of people would love to be pain-free and very calm, collected. The yoga just keeps me together, very centered. So now we're going into 60-minute classes. So what's happening? So it's becoming an exercise. It's a trend. People are selling it and people are having success with it. And I think if you want to keep your business open and that's your trend, I think that's fantastic. I think there's a few other modalities that go with it that's you have to be cautious with. By calling it Bikram Yoga and then changing it to whatever you desire, that's kind of a hard, small, it's like, hi, this is Burger King, but I'm going to sell you the Big Mac. You're deceiving the public. You're unfortunately selling something that's not true. I know people take the 26 postures and have converted it to 60 minutes, and so they keep it as saying Bikram Yoga, but now you've taken a cow and you're calling it a pig and you're serving it as bacon, and it doesn't really make sense for me. But for the public, for a student that doesn't care, and definitely here's the new thing is like they definitely don't care about the name. They just want what's in it for me? And so if I can get a 60-minute class and it looks cool, and now on the side of the studio, they may get the credit for being creative, for the acknowledgement of like, we're special, we have something unique, this is not anywhere else. So that gives it the speciality of the studio. So you have to just be very careful of what you're selling and long-term results. So people think that this is going to work for a long term. Well, unfortunately, eventually people are going to have to go back to 90 minutes because it works. It's the long-term version. So land of caution. I just want to put that out to you. And yeah, again, please comment below. I know I just want to talk about it more than anything else. It's called communication. When you open up that communication line, at least we can all understand each other. Have a super day, everybody. It's Be Fire. Cheers.